Welcome back, YouTube, once again. Beautiful morning. Again, as you can see, I don't know if you can see the sky. It's out daybreak as per usual. Very beautiful morning, and today it's just cool outside. It's nice. Calm. No much people working out. Welcome once again. Alfred here. Welcome to this podcast, your YouTube but your regular YouTube podcast brought by me. And today, what I want to talk about is basically transitioning. I found my part, at least, or in many people also, it's hard to transition. And what do I mean transitioning? What I'm talking about is probably as you grow, as you want to grow, as you want to be the person that you want to be, the person that you set out to be, right? Sometimes you are sort of stuck in a place, especially mentally, not necessarily physically, but mentally, even spiritually. But in this case, I'll talk about probably mentally more, right? You find that a lot of people, me included, of course, back then, before we become adults, right? We were not like you're not told like how to become adults. Why? Because most of the time our parents leave it to the teachers, and the teachers probably expect our parents to teach us to be more responsible, to be more adult-like, and all that. So as we want to be adults now, maybe you are in our 20s and mid-20s probably, you find that we still have the teenage mindset, adolescent. We're still stuck in adolescence, right? In the adolescence phase, and so we find it hard to cope from that adolescent to more young adults. I'll call them young adults from your 20s. Yeah, some may say from 18, but from, let's say, 21 onwards, right? Because usually when you're 21, you're expected to be more responsible, much more of an adult, right? From you're a young adult, but you're stuck in the teenage or in the high school phase mostly. So that transitioning part, it's not just in that phase, right? Even in your late 20s, you have to have a career, you have to be somebody, right? So it's tough transitioning into your 30s, right? Or maybe even into your 40s. So basically transitioning is very tough. This is different from evolving. Evolving usually will reside around the fact that whatever you know or whatever you have planned out to be, you are now being that person. You're practicing being that person, right? So you're now changing gradually, right? And you're becoming that person. Like, for example, if you are becoming a father, you can't become a father before you have a child, right? But you may be someone who's suitable to be a father. So you start maybe evolving and having those traits to be a father. So when your child maybe comes up, or maybe already married, probably, then you'll be ready, right? You'll be evolved, and however you think that to be a fit father is, anybody can define their own way of being a father, right? So besides that, evolving also means it's a continuous thing. You don't just stop evolving. You don't, once you start, because there are so many challenges in this world. So you'll be what you'll be doing is always always coming up with new concept on how to do things better. Now that's evolving. So back to our main topic. So I was just trying to differentiate between evolving and transitioning. Now, what I'm talking about is just a broad, it's nothing deep, right? It's just my thoughts and my opinions, right? Now, transitioning for a lot of people, a lot of us, it's tougher. It's tougher because when you're transitioning, it's like you're taking a plunge. You're jumping into something you probably don't know, and you don't know how this will come out, whatever you set out to be. For example, like the example I gave, you're from a teenager mindset, right? Maybe you are 18, 19. Now you are expected of you to be more of an adult when you become 20. When you reach 21. Now what to do? What do you know what to do, right? And you need to go maybe to university. You need to find a job. Are you ready for that? Now the another part is the transitioning. You have to transition into that because you still have that that high school mindset. Probably you still have that street mindset. Now it's tough, I should say, because not everyone is equipped to tell you how to do it, because people will be taking it or giving you advice from their own perspective or from their own mindset, which is good in a way, but remember, the journey is yours, and if you're not able to really come up with what you want, a picture of who exactly you want, then you may copy and paste exactly what others tell you, and it will be tough because you may have to set other standards, and you won't be able to set your own standards and live your own life. And this is what I've seen, a lot of people trying to transition, but they're stuck somehow. They're stuck. Yeah, it's a challenge. I've been there. I've been there plenty of times, trying to figure things out. But what I can say is just what you can do is just trust yourself. Keep on working on yourself. When whatever you do, just do something. You don't just sit there and complain about it and then do nothing. And there's plenty of things you can do. Also take advice, but make sure the advice is relevant. Always make sure that the advice is relevant to your journey and to your purpose. And transitioning also ties back to purpose, your purpose in life, what you want to do or who you want to be. First of all, you have to picture exactly who you want to be. Picture the fact that you want to be somebody, you want to do something, right? Now that will mitigate a bit of how you transition into the person you want to be. For example, I find it easy if I've always wanted to be a business guy. Just have a company, because the problem is I never really defined what kind of company I wanted. Of course, now I do. Now I know exactly. But what are the behaviors that a CEO probably or an MD has to have? What are those traits that I have to have? Now that will help me transition, because once you have that knowledge of, okay, for example, let me just say, for example, a pilot. I've never really wanted to be a pilot, but I'm going to give that example, right? Maybe some of you want to be pilots out there or whatever. I'll give the example of a pilot, rather. Now, you need to know, okay, what does a pilot need to go to school to learn? What kind of school do they usually attend? What are the subjects? Then you get familiar with that feeling of being a pilot. You can even go to the internet, Google some things. You can go and if there's some simulation, pilot simulation areas where you can get familiar with such things. Just get the feel right, and then get the behaviors and the things right. Talk to pilots, right? Thoroughly do your research. Make sure you know and you want to do. You really want to do that, right? Same thing in life, right? If you're going to transition into whoever you are, whoever you ever dreamed to be, make sure you do your homework. Work on yourself first. Make sure you want that thing, right? Otherwise, if you're just gonna jump into this, then jump into that, and one day you want to be a police officer, the other day you want to be a pilot, the other day you want to be a fire officer, whatever. Another day you want to be a doctor. That will confuse you, because you really have no identity, or you're not looking for a set identity that you would like to have. And it's tough, but you gotta keep on working on yourself. You can find it in yourself by knowing your likes, knowing your background, knowing where you like to be headed, and setting out plans, 10-year plans, 5-year plans, quarterly plans, goals, obviously. This way it becomes easy. And there's just leveraging, like I like to say, leveraging whatever you have at your disposal, right? You may have a laptop. Just use that. You can record things. Have a phone, record things. That just tinker around with what you usually have, and also your passion. Just play on your passion. I must say, a lot of the times it's also tough, because a lot of these things don't give you money at first, because we also want to survive. We have to survive. There's no financial benefit at first, usually. And this is why a lot of times people give up, and they want whatever brings them financial rewards at the time. But I must say, yes, you could work out something that brings you the financial reward at the time, but at the same time you don't give up on what you think that this is for you. I can do this long term, and you transition by making sure that reflecting and meditating on that, and make sure, hey, is this for me? Yeah, I mean, the answers will come, because if you look deep inside and deep enough, answers do come. No matter who you are, no matter what you are, answers do come. Confusing at first, it's tough, but eventually answers will come. The problem is the answers won't come at the rate you want or at the time you want. It doesn't come for everyone at the same time. Some people find the answers in their 20s, some in their 30s, some are late bloomers, just like myself. There's some things that I figured out in my 30s, some things in my mid 30s, and now I'm 38 right now. I'm turning 39 in September. I'm still figuring things out, and it's not bad. And at least I can see something. There's a light out there. So for some people who think it's too late, it's only too late if you quit. It's only too late if you give up. So the transitioning thing, it's very important. Make sure you have the right mindset. Make sure you know yourself that, okay, I can do this long term. I can definitely be this person. If you like the person you are being or you are becoming, then it's easier for you to transition, because all you have to do is improve on that person. But if you do not like the person that you are becoming, then you go back to the drawing board and then figure out what you are doing wrong, and do what is needed to do. If it's improving on whatever you have to do it. Whether it's exercising, going back to your education, getting a skill, changing your mindset, ditching those friends that bring you no value, creating content, even sometimes ditching family that you think are holding you back. It's very important to know that. This is a wide topic. I think I might cover more on this, because it's very important. It's something that's been in my mind, and something that has been part of me for a long time, and I think it's something that a lot of people are struggling with. And I'm definitely going to come back on this. My 15 minutes mark is almost over, so I might have to sign out. But definitely, this is the kind of topic that I love tackling. But right now I gotta sign out, and this has been Alfred. Thank you. Don't mind the sound right now. I have to do something about the sound. The volume is it's crazy. It's not good, and it's because I'm away from my microphone. My apartment is a bit too noisy at the moment. But signing out right now, and this has been Alfred once again for Wakati Avenue, and more knowledge to you. Thank you.